There's a strange kind of tiredness that doesn't come from working too hard. It comes from never letting the day feel empty. You wake up, check your phone, shower, commute, work, gym, groceries, a few subscriptions running in the background, dinner, something to watch, something to scroll, then sleep. Nothing is wrong with this life. On paper, it's stable, responsible, even impressive. And yet, some evenings, the quiet feels uncomfortable, so you fill it, not because you need to, but because silence feels exposed. A few years ago, I spent time observing how some people in modern Japan structure their daily lives, not the aesthetic version that shows up online, the ordinary one. Small apartments, few possessions, routines that look almost empty from the outside. What stood out wasn't discipline. It was how little they tried to escape boredom. In many homes, there isn't a constant background of noise. No TV playing for company, no second screen while eating, no need to optimize every hour into something useful or entertaining. There are pockets of nothing, and they're left alone. From the outside, this looks unproductive. From the inside, it feels honest. Because boredom, when it isn't anesthetized, does something uncomfortable. It shows you what your mind has been avoiding. In the US and across much of Europe, we've quietly built lives that are extremely good at eliminating boredom. After tax, maybe you take home $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Rent or mortgage takes half. A car payment or transit pass takes another piece. Subscriptions feel small, so they stay. Food delivery replaces cooking on tired nights. Streaming replaces silence. Scrolling replaces stillness. None of this is reckless. It's reasonable. It's modern. But notice what happens emotionally. Every small discomfort is treated as a problem to be solved. Waiting becomes something to fill. Loneliness becomes something to drown. Mental fatigue becomes something to numb. We don't just avoid boredom. We treat it as a design flaw in life. So we build routines that never leave space for it. The psychological reason this works so well is simple. Your brain doesn't want depth. It wants relief. Boredom is a low-level signal that says, something about your life is repetitive, misaligned, or emotionally unprocessed. But listening to that signal requires stillness, and stillness feels inefficient in cultures that measure life by output. So instead, we replace the signal. A screen, a purchase, a background voice, another task to feel busy. It's not addiction in the dramatic sense. It's maintenance. Maintenance of a life that runs smoothly, while quietly losing its texture. Over time, this has a cost that doesn't show up in bank statements. Emotionally, you become very good at functioning and less good at feeling. You don't collapse, you just feel flat. Financially, the cost is subtle too. You spend to smooth out friction. Convenience replaces intention. Subscriptions replace choices. Impulse replaces pause. Individually, each expense is small. Psychologically, they create a life that never has to sit with itself, which means it never asks deeper questions. Is this routine actually satisfying me, or just keeping me occupied? Am I building a life I chose, or one that feels easy to maintain? The people I observed in Japan who practiced minimalism weren't chasing purity or discipline. They weren't trying to be impressive. They simply didn't rush to cover silence. When something felt dull, they didn't immediately replace it. They sat with it long enough for it to reveal something. Sometimes it revealed restlessness, sometimes dissatisfaction, sometimes a quiet desire they had ignored because it didn't fit their routine. Their lives weren't louder, they were clearer, not because they had fewer things, but because fewer things stood between them and their own thoughts. Quietly intelligent people don't eliminate boredom, they use it as information. They notice when their routines start feeling like emotional insulation. They allow some empty space in their days, not as productivity, but as awareness. Not to fix everything, just to notice what they've been avoiding noticing. This doesn't require drastic change, no extreme minimalism, no aesthetic life overhaul, just a willingness to let moments be unfilled, to let the mind surface what it's been buffering against. If your life looks stable, responsible, and well-constructed, but feels emotionally thin, the problem might not